What's going on, guys? Just want to say thank you for tuning in, watching leg day. This is my warm-up set here, 2 sets of 15 with 135. Before this, I warmed up on the bike, the stationary bike, 6 minutes at a neutral pedal, increased, I would say about a 10 to 12, level 10 to 12, and then I go to 30-second at a fast interval pedal, and then I drop down. Every 30 seconds I do an interval on the bike. Every 30 seconds, fast pace, fast pedal, slow pedal. And after that I'll usually either stretch, a light stretch, or I may foam roll. Just depends on that day. Same thing as my warm-up sets. 1, 2, doesn't really matter how many warm-up sets that you do. Just until you're warmed up, able to get good depth. First, here's my first working set, 12 reps with 225. As you see at the top, nice depth there. It's not 100% true parallel, but that's the way that I like to squat. So set 2, 8 reps for 275. My second working set. And underneath my, you really can't see, but underneath my heels I have 2.5 pound plates. Anything that has a little bit of thickness to it, put underneath your heels. That'll give you more depth. You'll feel it more in your quads. Also, you see here on the top, I come up and you want to squeeze your glutes before you go back down. Another thing too, whenever you're squatting, don't squat from your knees, squat from your hips. That's just a form tip there. And switching out the weights, hitting the third and fourth set here, 6 reps with 315 pounds. As you saw in my warm-up set, I did not have the belt on when I was doing the 135. After I started my working sets, I did put the belt on for safety caution and just what I like to do. It's nice having the belt on. Good stabilization, especially for your seated squats, as you see here. 2 sets of 10, 225. These are really good to finish up. You can start out if you like to. These are really good to try. They really work the teardrop. Glutes, hamstrings, quads. You'll feel it burning. I usually do 10, and as you see, this is 225, so it is a little bit heavier. If you drop down to 185, you can get 12, 15 reps. But another thing too, make sure you sit all the way down, give it a second, and then stand back up. Squeezing your glutes at the top. Main thing is just that seat. Make sure your body, you don't want to physically rest, but just make sure that your body knows that you are seated. Did 2 sets of these after my working sets. As I was saying about the belt, I do like having the belt on while I'm doing my working set. Warm up, I like to keep the belt off just to go ahead and get the core warmed up, let it know that you are about to lift. And here you will see I also did 2 more sets to finish off. These will be our pause squats. Did 2 sets of 8. Just the second pause at the bottom. Same weight, 225. And you don't have to get 8 of them. You can get 10, 12, or you can just go to failure. About this time, I was pretty fatigued after so many sets, but it is nice to have different variations to try out for leg day. Just a quick tip, make sure your form is in check when you do any type of lifting. Really hate to pull, snap, or any type of injury when you're lifting weights. Barbell lunges here, 3 sets of 10 with 135 pounds. Doing single leg at a time. You can do different variations. You can do either dumbbell, you can do the walking lunges, reverse lunges, but that's just how I did it that night. Also here you'll see single-legged leg press, 2 sets of 12 on these. I like doing these before my actual heavy set. You really don't have to go too heavy on these. Also, what I did not do here, which you'll see in the next clip, you can emphasize your heel when you get to the top. Bring your toes towards you. Basically, push your heel more into the back of it. It makes you squeeze on the top, which is good for the muscle fibers, breaking those down, building muscle, building that strength, fatiguing out your legs. As you'll see here, exaggerate at the top. And these are the leg press, regular leg press. I did 5 sets, increase each set. My first 2 sets I'll do 15 and 15, which is 30 total. And then my next set I will do 30 straight. As you know, increase the weight. Each set I increase the weight. On my 4th set I'll increase the weight. In the 5th set I'll either do 30 more reps, or I'll do a different variation, which is like a negative set. And here you'll see, just go ahead and get the bars set up for, I believe these will be hamstring raises, hamstring stretch. Anyways, make sure you keep a slight bend in your knees, your back arched, slightly arched, chest up. As soon as you feel it pulling on the bottom tip of your glute down your hamstring, just snatch it back up. You really want to feel that stretch. If you feel it more in your back, arch your back, chest out a little bit more, and you want a slight bend in your knees. Not too much of a bend, just a slight bend. And starting this heavy, I wouldn't really advise. After about your 2nd or 3rd set, go ahead and increase the weight. Here you'll see my calf raises on the Smith machine. I do take my shoes off for this, just to get more depth. With your toes you can get more depth than having a shoe on, which is what I really like to do. Make sure you stretch at the top. Come all the way down, almost touching the floor. Don't rest on the floor, but almost touching the floor. Stretch at the top. And I do 2 variations. I'll do straight, feet straight, and then I'll go to a V with my heels touching. Once again, thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Wraps up leg day, about 2.5 hours, and hope you all enjoyed it.